All right. Well, Alec, how are you feeling?
Been better, been worse, but I always enjoy doing these kinds of things, so better at least for now. I'll put it that
Excellent.
way.
So, would you like to hear which character you were using?
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess by what I can only describe as by a landslide, we will today be running Sonic Mania with Knuckles.
Am I running with and Knuckles, though? That's the other question.
Unfortunately, we are not running with and Knuckles, but at least we got one Knuckles in there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Alright, so I have it set up to not play the super music, which is going to allow you to really enjoy the OST of this game, and gonna have a nice chill but fast time here. Also, Laser, if you ever want to hop in just for banter or anything like that, by all means, just kind of helps me out a little bit as well. But beyond that, I'm ready to go, so let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, I paused too early there. So, I was skipping a cutscene there, and that, unfortunately, if you press it a little bit too early, costs you time. But, oh well. And now, I'm using these momentum maintenance tricks to go fast in the special stage. And you can't see it because I don't have a working webcam right now, but I kind of sway along with the direction I want Sonic to go because it's such kind of a weird feeling thing that I've never been able to completely stop doing that. But Knuckles will be getting all of the emeralds because it's faster with Knuckles. In fact, the only character I would not be getting all the emeralds with would be Sonic, because there is the extra egg reverie at the end, and that extra stage makes it slower just itself. But of course, Knuckles, unfortunately, is the most random character because of his jump height, which, of course, as traditional, is lower than every other character. And there are some bosses that he can't quite reach. Sorry, just moving something on my screen there. Now I can see the chat better. Yeah, so I have 2 emeralds. Yeah. I have 2 emeralds already. I'm going to be getting all of them by Studiopolis if all goes well. One of the convenient things for all emeralds runs is that in the PC version, oh come on, jump! There is a mistakenly left in dev tool that is going to allow me to back up a few of the emeralds. And allows you to go to Mach 3 immediately. It is pretty much always faster not to do it that way, and so I'm going to also, because it's more entertaining, at least be trying not to do that at all, except for the final emerald, which is honestly nothing special the normal way anyway. That works. Kind of a weird play so far here. That's alright.
It all looks very fast to me, I have to admit.
It is fast, but a lot of things are just kind of happening ever so slightly different than usual. Alright, so this is the first kind of interesting emerald, I think, because I'm going to go up in this corner here, and... oh, I'm going to back this up. I could have got it without doing the Mach 3 there, but that backup is pretty unreliable because of that hole in the floor there. So I decided to just back it up with Mach 3. I had a kind of unfortunate setup where I had to choose to risk the UFO not heading back towards me enough, or I had to risk that happening. That's the most common way for that one to go wrong. But you wedge yourself in the corner there, and then basically the game treats you as if you're farther on in the level, making the UFO think it needs to go backwards. I'm going to be grabbing a couple more emeralds here in Chemical Plant 1. I'm going to get that spin dash there just to make sure I make that jump. And get into my first emerald stage of the level here. This one. Hopefully I get this first try. Okay, not a great start. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Nope. Okay, I almost got it there, as you can see. That is the backup if you miss it the first time. And unfortunately, I just didn't quite get enough speed maintenance. And I landed a little bit too close to the UFO, so it didn't quite work. But there's all sorts of stuff you can do. That was an unusually high jump. But yeah, that is the hardest emerald to get just in general. And yeah, so I'm not surprised that I messed it up a little bit. This one, it goes right, which it did not. Okay, there's another backup here. And I'm not doing it well. There we go. Okay, I did end up backing up. But yeah, I should have got that one around the first corner if everything had gone right. But unfortunately, I didn't quite have enough forward momentum and had too much side to side. But there's a lot of kind of weird stuff like that with the special stages that makes it kind of tricky at times. But the fortunate thing is that I haven't outright failed any of them. Okay, fine, we're going down here. This is the slower route to get through that last little bit. Chemical Plant's boss here. Obviously, it's just faster to damage boost and get all the hits you need in there. Like so. It's got the gimmick in Act 2 of these different colored goos. There's basically damage you, short boost, and high boost. You won't be seeing too much of it because I'm going to be taking the fastest way through the level. It pains me every time I see someone not hold up through here because this route is so much faster. Just hold up, we'll make it here. And you get to this part a good 30 seconds faster. Come on. Fun little jump coming up right here. Got it. Always looks slick when you get it smoothly. Okay, and it is possible to get slightly faster into that cycle, but not always the easiest thing. And good, I got it. That's a somewhat precise slope jump there. And it is technically possible to make one cycle earlier on this if you made the same cycle earlier, but you have to play pretty much perfectly. Now this one is easy to fail. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get a backup emerald later. That one, it's not the hardest to get, but like I said, it's easy to fail. If you don't get good momentum and you hit the little bombs, spikes there twice early on, there's not much you can do about it, really, unfortunately. And at this point, I have to offer an apology to any of you here who are actually good at Puyo Puyo. I am not, so I kind of tend to go with a strategy that is as much about messing up Eggman as it is anything else, because, again, I'm just not very good at Puyo, so I'm keeping an eye on his side of the screen, and I am also, okay, I'm going to pass on that double there, set up that. So now, if the game gives me a blue, I will be happy. But this also works. Let's do it this way. Ah, crap. I misread that. Oh well. See what I mean? That I'm not very good? Especially when I haven't been sleeping well, like I haven't been lately. So now at this point, I'm basically just trying to mess Eggman up a little bit. Timing my clears just to cause a little trouble for him. I'm gonna hop in there, because I think that leads me to more stuff that's actually useful. Assuming I get the right Puyos. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So yeah, that wasn't a good Puyo. That's not uncommon. I just messed up that one clear. I should have done it the other way, because I had two choices. But that's hindsight, and yeah, again, I haven't been sleeping very well lately, so that tends to make my Puyo play worse. But at any rate, now we're into Studiopolis, one of the original levels in Sonic Mania, which I think are all excellent. And I'm going to be, I guess, getting these speed shoes because of the way I went through there. It's actually a little bit slower, but not a ton. Regardless, I'm going to be getting what would normally be my final emerald here, but instead I'm going to be having another try at this one. Hitting that is fine. Oh! I messed it up there right at the end. I was trying to go around the corner, but I hit the corner instead. And yeah, there is a skip for Puyo. But I'm basically a glitchless runner, not because of that one, but because of other ones. So I'm not going to have super for this boss, which is unfortunate. I'm still going to get a backup emerald down here. Alright. Once more, with feeling. Oh, come on. Good speed there, yeah, good. Okay. Sheesh.
EG, we did it.
That was a cold streak.
Not the last one.
That
We did
for
it.
sure. Oh, man. I actually hate this boss as Knuckles because of his jump height. Oh, come on. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be taking some damage here just because hitboxes are weird and Knuckles' jump height is low. I slowed down there a little bit because sometimes it helps you get the a better cycle here. Oh, and I got it. Hey. There was a 1 in 3 chance of that being faster. This is all luck in this auto-scroller here. So obviously I'm hoping for getting the earliest missile possible. So if there's anything you have to say right now about the event laser, or if there have been any donations or anything like that, feel free to chime in tonight, because this is a perfect time for a little while.
Well, I feel like I have some very mean things to say about there being luck in an auto-scroller. That's just cruel.
It is. None of us
yes.
like it. The fortunate thing is it's only a matter of a few seconds either way, but yeah.
I actually do have a question for you. So, my Sonic experience is a little bit limited, and I want to change that as well. But I've seen Knuckles gliding and climbing walls, and I'm just wondering, are there other things that make this character different than the others?
Not a whole lot. He breaks through any breakable objects without having to spin as well, but that's about it. Also, there are more wall and ceiling entrance shenanigans with Knuckles than with any other character. Not all of them for good. I'll put it that way. There are a few places where it is very possible to soft lock if you're not being careful.
Now, I do actually have a quick announcement to make. We have hit $2,000.
Nice.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean you get to stop there. We've got so much more marathon to donate in, and so much more to see, so many more awesome games to play, and all of the good stuff.
Little minor optimization, it's faster to jump than take that red spring down there because you maintain more of your momentum. There are a lot of little things like that, as always, in Sonic Mania. Nice. That is actually a little trickier than you might think. Oh yeah, I don't have my last emerald. Let's get it. So, this one is not terribly difficult. You just kind of slalom jump this whole way, and then you usually get the emerald somewhere around here as well. With that, I'm just saying, like, Joey Baby 69, who is a better runner of this game than I am, also does this for this final special stage because it's barely slower and it's really easy to randomly fall into one of those little holes there that you could see. But this top route is the fastest anyway, so we're all good. And once I get onto that top route, that's when I like to transform anyway, so... anyway, I talked about RNG being a factor more for Knuckles because of his jump height. Yeah, there are 2 attacks where I can hit this boss. Right now, he is doing the one where I can't hit him at all. So right off the bat, bad luck. Every other character could hit him at the low end of his oscillation. Or possibly more. Oh, man, come on. Getting 2 of these in a row to start it off is very rare. Here we go. This one is basically an easy 3. So now I need a total... Okay, I'm gonna need 2 more hits, basically, after this one. And that's good, because if I get a wind pattern, it's easy to get 2 hits. So you can also get a 3rd hit on the wind pattern if you do what I just did there and then hit the... grab onto one of those little things there. But it's nowhere near as easy as the sun pattern. setting up to hopefully get past a little flame here by just holding right entering the stage. I did not get a good enough spin dash, so that happens. But I'm going to be trying to get super. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm just going to play that safe. Because, of course, there is death below me. And I'm going to have plenty of rings here. Now, there are two ways you can go through this stage. I'm better at this one. So that's what I'm going with. One of the few advantages that Mighty has is that he can get through that floor quicker. Because his ground pound move breaks these breakable floors. However, if you poorly time a ground pound here, he can go through the floor here as well. So that's something to be aware of as well. Oh, that second one is rather obnoxious to get, because you have to get a rather I didn't even get the glide there. A rather precisely timed glide and immediate momentum change. But yeah, Knuckles does this boss slower than any other character because of his lower jump height. It is possible to get a couple early hits, but that strategy is not easy to get. Technically, you can even juggle on top of the boss's super for a while, but you basically have to get stuck gliding in a particular position. It's kind of debatable whether it's a glitch because of all that's going on as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's neither here nor there, but you get kind of stuck gliding in place for a little bit, and then you fall onto the boss and hopefully stay falling onto the boss. Now this bit is a little bit tricky with Knuckles because his jump height takes him to a slightly different route naturally. Oh, we ended up down here anyway. That's okay though. And there are all sorts of things in that little section that like to bounce you around. I didn't get the skip. I jumped too early. Oh well. It's possible to skip that spider. Actually not terribly difficult either, I just mess it up. The second one is possible, but very difficult to skip. Now we're coming up on the big spider boss. That jump I did out of that, by the way, if you do it too early, you can easily die. Because you don't make it up to the spring and then you just fall to your death. Oh, that didn't get a hit. Okay. Still get 3. Yes! Good. Cutting that was close. Okay, still got the 2 cycle. About the sketchiest 2 cycle you can possibly get, but that's what you want to see regardless. We don't talk about Mega Man spikes. But yeah, it would be nice to have the instant kill on the boss. Down here, there's another ring. I'm not making the best cycle now. Gets you super nice and early. I'm going to go out here, since I'm not making the cycle anyway, to get that lightning shield for the next act, actually. Okay. Sorry, being quiet a little bit here, because that section is a little bit awkward, as Knuckles. It's a fair amount of stuff you have to do. And being prepared for all characters at the same time means that just by the nature of things, there are times when I kind of have to remind myself, I'm playing as this character, this is how I approach this section. And this is one of them right here. With Knuckles, I do not drop down, I in fact climb up this wall. Other characters drop down, or fly, or do various different things in this section. So, entering it, I kind of have to remind myself, do the Knuckles way. Now we're at the end of the stage, nice and quick. Every character but Knuckles can do this boss fight a little bit quicker, but instead I'm going to wait for the boss to break this box down here, because I don't want it to get that far away from me. In fact, I wanted him to go left towards the wall there. But, unfortunately, I sent him to the right. So it took a little bit longer to get that final hit. Now, the lightning shield is, of course, going to get me more rings early. I'm going to go down here. If I'm doing no emeralds with Knuckles, I actually do the top route, because there's a cool way you can get through that section pretty quickly with Knuckles. I'm going to be super here really soon. Just going to get these rings. And now make sure I get turned into ice correctly there. Because this is the quickest way to get to Heavy Shinobi. And you definitely want to get there under a minute as if you're doing the super category, so this is a good stage, and of course a nice and easy fight. Very much not free if you are not super. So it's always nice to be super here, because it makes Heavy Shinobi just absolutely free. Now, one of the best songs in the game, just super chill. I love this one. T-Lopes did a absolutely amazing job with his soundtrack, and the remixes and originals alike. But again, I'm going to be gathering rings and hopefully not taking a hit. The only place where I'm really at all concerned with taking a hit is this next one here. But there are ways to handle this section. You just have to kind of have a read as you go in. There are a few ways that it usually ends up going. Playing the stage well ends up with a different pattern, but that one is nice and easy. And then right here, I gotta jump anyway. Perfect time to transform. Oops. Wanted to go up in that thing, actually. A little bit sloppy there towards the end, but it happens. And And now, if you play Sonic CD, these light bulb bugs have much improved hitboxes than they do in Sonic CD, which is highly fortunate. On this next one, the level itself is really quick. You can get to the end in about 30 seconds or so. I'm going to be going a slightly different route to get more rings for the chase section. And that means going up here. And then let's play it extra safe, because there's a big ring up there. Oh, I pressed left a little bit late there because I wanted to go on this path. But as you can see, getting those extra rings didn't really cost me much time. And don't ask me why the super music is played. I did the thing that should have disabled it, but it doesn't seem to be working for whatever reason. Fortunately...
Alec, why is the super music playing?
Music. Well, normally it just does, but there's a code that I entered before this run that is supposed to disable it. And it gave me the thing that said it was entered properly, and I don't know why... Oh, whoops. I don't know why it's playing, because it shouldn't be. But it is. Gave me the ring sound and everything.
I'm wondering if you just have a couple seconds for me to read off a donation here.
Oh, absolutely. This boss fight is free.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear as well. So we, of course, did hit $2,000, and that is thanks to this $15 donation that says Rocket here sniping 2K. Woo! And I have no idea who that's from. None at all. That, of course, also went to that open Splatoon bonus game incentive, which is now at $281 out of a needed $500. Thank you so much.
Alright, so I'm going to be going out of my way a little bit to grab a few extra rings, actually going around these loops, for example, just to get a few extra. I don't do that as every character that gets super here, but as Knuckles I do. Also, that was very close. I'm not sure if I'm going to be making the cycle I want, but it could be close. So, later on in the level, there is a cycle that I hope I'm going to make. I'm also going to grab that bubble shield for the ability to breathe underwater for a bit. So coming up here, I did not make it. I wanted to make that previous cycle, and I was basically going to get crushed there. There were no ifs, ands, or buts if I had gone for that. And that, because I hadn't hit a single checkpoint, would have sent me back to the very beginning of the stage. So, yeah, I like this boss fight. It's a interesting twist where you get to actually control the machine instead of Eggman. there's some technique to it. Like pressing down with the proper time to destroy that bomb makes the next little bit a little easier. This should be good timing. Does it send him to the right? No. Ideally, you want to end much closer to the right end of the screen than I am here, but that's okay. There are also ways, if you have a to avoid a hit by precisely letting go of the of the water to... Wow, that was bad. To not get hit by a mine and still get Eggman to get sucked up. Anyway, bad start to the level here. It happens. That was a bad spin dash there, too. I'm grabbing a few extra rings here. Just lets me become super a little bit early. And now I'm going to skip part of the stage by just gliding over it, hitting a pass swapper there, and being on to this section. Really simple, no glitches involved whatsoever. I'm going to be doing it again up at this top level. Also grabbing that bubble shield for a little bit of... Oh, wait. I want to do this the safe way, which is to glide there. So Knuckles gains speed as he glides, and you can absolutely get over to this section from the lower bit, but it's much more reliable if you have that extra bit of height and speed going into it. So normally you're supposed to send these kind of mine things towards Robotnik, but when you're super, it's obviously much more efficient to just hit him yourself. And you can actually save a hit by getting one more after he, oh, come on. After he, like the first phase blows up. But if you get 2 hits, you actually lose time because you get to this point and the boss will have exploded. Fortunately, there is an anti-soft lock failsafe. Also, I could skip this button. Oh no! Why would I? Love this music too. My voice is not high enough to really pull that off.
That was amazing. Especially with the cops in there after. And yeah, they keep going. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I am now. I just had to cough a little bit. First part of the level went really well, so I made that this cycle very safely. At the this point in the level, I'm going to become super and actually skip part of the level by doing a spin dash jump off of there, nice and easy. Just hit that slope, and there you are. Skip's a good 30 seconds of the level or so, I would say. It is possible to do it with a super glide without super, but, and yes, that is the proper way to say it. A super glide does not require being super, it just is a momentum trick. Where you maintain upward momentum from a high jump after hitting an enemy or box. And that one is significantly harder because it's blind. Okay. I got both setups there. Barely. So you don't want to hit... Oh, I didn't. So if you're too close to the right edge of the screen, that happens, and it costs a small amount of time. Conversely, meanwhile, I should say, you also want to avoid hitting that signpost too fast, because otherwise it bounces up in the air and loses you time that way. But yeah, being super transforms this from one of my worst stages to kind of an okay one. Oh, come on. Nice. Right as I say that. I immediately start messing everything up. This one, I'm going to be doing a cycle skip. As you can see, I can walk into the boss and get 2 hits every cycle, but you can get 1 fewer of those random cycles by getting 1, and then getting 2 hits twice. So I'm going to do that because, as you can see, this animation takes a few seconds to play out. So by getting the optimum cycles there, it saves... you know, about 2 or 3 seconds, I think it is. It is not at all insignificant. So you're not going to hear this music much. I apologize. Oh, I got too high on that slope jump. Oh well. You're not going to hear this music much. I apologize. I don't know why the code didn't work. It probably has something to do with me entering a practice file to, you know, practice before the run. Because there's some weirdness like that that can happen in video games. So, who knows? This boss tries. He gets a gold star. It's really not any more difficult, even if you're not super, which is the sad part.
That is the cutest boss I've ever seen.
If you don't kill him quite that fast, he also waves hi, or rather goodbye, because he starts to do the animation for his attack. But I kill him too quickly. And I have completely skipped the oh, come on, no. I've completely skipped the activation trigger for the background smoke. And I got those speed shoes to get up to that section more easily. And then I went too far and landed in that oil, and at that point, it probably would have been faster. There's another quick route, but I don't remember where it is. I don't remember that backup. So I went back up and went the way I know how. There's a very small chance I could have got 7 hits there, but that's fine. As for that setup, you just gotta stand in the right position. It varies a little bit based on which character you're using. Because they all have their own little celebration animations. Now, it's faster to skip this cutscene and get a few extra rings instead of letting the cutscene play out. There are a couple rings in this act before the part where it puts you if you skip the cutscene, actually. But fortunately, you don't need them. Oh, come on. Okay, that's going to change my plan a little bit, actually, but not too much. I'm just going to get as many rings as I reasonably can here. And I'll transform slightly later. Because I wanted to be already transformed, actually. But instead, I can just do it here while this door opens. And that's not a big time loss. Just a few seconds from not navigating that previous section faster. Backup strats on backup strats. It especially is a thing because I play this game as every single character. Speaking of a backup... Oh, come on. So you learn all these little things. Getting that ring means that I am guaranteed to have super throughout the entire boss. And normally, there's a pretty good chance that your super runs out during the boss. It depends on how quickly you get there and how many rings you collect along the way. Which does sometimes make it a bit sketch. I have died to the boss in a super run before. Also, don't glide there. You can end up in the ceiling, and that is usually a soft lock. But with a nice little marathon strat, I can just sit inside this boss's hitbox and nothing bad happens. So at this point, it's going to break open in the middle, and I can start getting hits. Sometimes you can get 3 hits, but usually not. No phantom hits. It's a thing that can happen against this boss. Basically, you get a hit and the game doesn't register it. Now, this is my favorite music in the game. And there is a way to get early super via a glitch and get onto the main path, which obviously I will not be doing because this is a glitchless run. I am, however, trying to make this cycle, which I made. Excellent. Oh no. Okay. That was just annoying. I didn't jump high enough. In order to keep my rings, I'm going to grab invincibility there. Ow. Not getting quite as many rings as I wanted. That is not the end of the world. Getting through this section a little bit slow, so I'm going to have to be careful later. basically this section. Oh, you can make that jump without getting hit. So I'm going to be transforming later than usual. Wow. This is not going well. I'm actually going to get these rings up here. Come on. There we go. Because I do want a fairly significant ring count. There is a section of this level where you're just going to be kind of staying as super with the rings slowly ticking down. Probably should have got that ring box too, but my ring count here is looking fine. Because Knuckles has an alternative boss. He also can get there quicker, even without glitching, but it is very difficult even as super, so I'm just going the intended way, losing a few seconds, but not too much. Oh man, I missed a bunch of those rings. Yeah, I'm going to be losing super here. That's fine. Just means I have to play better. I'm also going to hit that checkpoint, which I don't normally hit. But as you can see here, this cutscene is funny, but I'm losing rings the whole time. That was a lot of recoil. Still got 2 hits in there, though. Come on. What is going on with my controls? There. That was slow. He has really long periods of iframes, and they aren't just based on when you get hits, but also on when he does moves. Anyway, we're through. Into Metallic Madness. This is actually one of my favorite levels in the game to speedrun because there's so much cool little tech that you can do. And it differs a little bit with every single character. I also don't care if I really even become super at all. Didn't slow down quite enough there. If I'd slowed down slightly, I would have made it to that next section much without flying up into that little higher area. I'm going to grab this ring box because I was not going to make that cycle anyway. And because of that, I am going to be going for all these rings, or at least enough of these rings here. There's that second cycle there. I really didn't lose any time by grabbing those extra rings early because of that. When you make or miss one cycle, and you eventually learn basically how much time you have for the next. Also, those hits can be a little bit tricky to get with the too far pistons if you're not super. Basically, you want to stay in the center, react to which one it is, face that way, and then do a spin dash and jump. Now we count to 4. And jump late. Okay, wow. I was so stupefied by that first miss. Let's just focus. There. That was a little embarrassing. 1, 2, 5. Risa. 3. This is another cycle-based level, so I'm going to be trying to get the rings I need to go super and make a certain cycle later on in the level. So far, so good. Even if the no super music code had worked, at that point, this one would have canceled the music. I would have had the super music regardless, because for whatever reason, when you transform as a little character, it just does that. Nice. Got the perfect jump off that little wheel. Made a pretty good cycle there. Optimizing this boss is a mix of getting hits on the machines that pop out and also getting new ones out as quickly as possible. That was a nice quick finish there. Pretty good boss fight. Turning around there lets the laser bounce you forward instead of backward. Now we're on to Titanic Monarch. Again, super cool music. Fun stage. Going up there to get the shield just to make sure that I don't lose my rings. Nice little safety strat that doesn't actually cost much time at all. And that's actually the riskiest place to lose your early level rings, is right there. Game plays itself kind of for a bit. Oh! Inadvertent jump. And that's where I want to transform. I almost forgot to. Okay. I couldn't quite... I usually get rid of that camera earlier than that, so I wasn't quite sure where I was for a moment, but that's a thing that can happen. It's why the actual category name is No Major Glitches, is stuff like that. Alright, everyone. We now have to pray to RNGesus. This is the single biggest luck gate in the run, because after this initial phase, which, of course, is nice and easy, we need down patterns. I'll be able to get a couple initial hits here. Oh, come on! No! I only got 2. Oh, I got 3. Okay. So now I need a down pattern to get any hits. I was scared that I wasn't going to get 3 there. Every other character can get hits on the up patterns. Knuckles cannot. Here we go. There we go. That was fairly typical. Fairly average. I'll take it. Last stage of the run right here. Got 4 branching paths. I'm going to go to the lower right first because it's as simple as it's the one that kind of plays itself the most. So it's a good place to kind of gather up some rings. I have nice speed there. I would have to slow down a little bit here to get through this section anyway. So you just don't benefit as much from being super. As you can see, like, just a lot of sections where the extra speed wouldn't really do much for you. I had a nice little lag spike there, perfectly timed for when I wanted to do a jump. Thanks, game. Now, I'm going to do my best to not get crushed here. It is very possible to get crushed in this next section. In fact, easier, if anything, as super, because you move faster. But fortunately, this is the, that's the safer pattern. I also got that 10 ring box for a little bit of marathon safety. Just to make sure my rings don't run out too early. It's also possible to get crushed there, but you can pretty easily read that section as you're going in, fortunately. This is the other part where you can get crushed. Just don't be over-aggressive and going into that little bit there, and you're generally fine. Nice and smooth there. It can be deceptively tricky to jump into that little gap as Super 2, just because you move so fast. This is looking like a pretty good stage. Not sub 3, which is possible. Oh, yeah. But still, pretty dang good. Hitting this part at sub 310 is good. And I have enough rings here that it's going to be pretty easy. You need double the number of hits typical on the boss here. I'm going to be getting 5, 5, 4, and 2. And there's going to be one little section in the middle. And time will be on the final hit. As Super, of course, this section is nothing scary. I also picked up the lightning shield, which makes it extra not scary, because that lets you go through these things here when they're electrified. Jumping there just for safety. But yeah, 2 more hits. More jump. And time. hopefully all of you enjoyed that. That was, I think, a pretty solid run. Was that a sub 1 or no? I think it was close.
Would you like to know? I have the
Yes.
stream time. So the
Yeah.
103.58.
Oh, it was over by a bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially because of the special stage shenanigans. That would have done it for sure. But still underestimate.
It was, and you know what? I was entranced by that whole run.
Hey, glad you
So
enjoyed.
being a little bit
It's
quieter than maybe
it's not the easiest
than maybe you
thing
would
to say. I can play any character in under 105. So I'm not surprised that there was a little bit of slop. I wish there was a little bit less, but you know, I think I might. My PC might be on its way out in a little bit, so I was getting more lag spikes than I'm used to, even when I'm streaming double, like I am now. So who knows? But hopefully you all enjoyed watching, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks so much for running Sonic Mania for us, Alec. Where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/Aleck47. I'm also Aleck47 on the NeoBird app, as it were. And yeah, you can find me there. I'm pretty much abandoning Twitter, as a lot of people are. I'm not a volume poster, but I'll at least post when I go live over there. And hopefully I'll be doing some more Mania, some Sonic 2 as well, because there's a little event for that coming up in a week. And I will be probably doing Mass Effect next month. So, hey, we'll see how it all goes, but that's it.
Very exciting. Thanks so much once again. Coming up next, we will have Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. But we have to jump to a little bit of an intermission first, so stick around and we'll be changing to the next game very soon.